Hey, and welcome to the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast. I'm Jill, coach and owner of CSNF, and I'm here along with my team to take your fitness experience to a new level. In each episode, we'll bring you helpful conversations with our coaches, members, and guests to provide additional value to your gym experience and understanding to our mission at CSNF to change lives through fitness. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Alrighty, guys, we are back on another episode, and it's me and Jill in the studio just hanging and chatting. Jill, first off, how are you?
I'm doing excellent today. Thank you.
Jill, speaking of movement, exercise, nutrition, fitness, health, all the things, what was the last thing you ate?
Well, it was just moments ago.
It was moments ago.
I had a turkey sandwich with pickle and mayo, and I have an apple waiting for me after.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you did in terms of movement?
I walked for a little bit while I was shooting off some emails.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Walk and work, baby.
Yep.
Did you work out today?
I did. I did the class workout today.
And I interrupted you while you were doing some accessory work.
I was stretching. That was fine. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Jill, give us context on what we're talking about on this episode.
Today's episode is neat, baby.
Neat? That's pretty neat.
It's neat.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that YouTube video of that guy saying, hey, that's pretty neat? How neat is that? That's nature. Have you ever seen that?
No, but...
Oh, my gosh. I need to show you that video.
After this, I'm watching it.
It blew up. It's hilarious.
The black hole of YouTube is a real thing now.
Well, that's pretty neat. But we're talking about neat, but not in that context. Sorry, Jill.
Yes, we're talking about a different neat, but I think before we get into what that is, we can set the stage for what is the purpose of this cast and why are we going to be talking about neat today?
What is it, Jill?
The purpose. Yeah,
purpose.
I'm coming in hot with the purpose. So it's just to bring awareness to
how your body works. A
sedentary versus active lifestyle, and you'll be a little bit mind blown to hear how, many of us are sedentary and we don't know it. And just some tips and tricks on how to kind of move the needle in terms of more movement throughout your day.
Because I think how this intersects our conversation at the gym is some people can come to us frustrated that they're not losing weight because they've been to the gym 5-6 days a week over the past 2 months, but nothing has really significantly changed. Mm-hmm. But when we look at the science and look at some of the percentages of what we're going to talk about, if our sole means of losing weight is exercise, we are off. We're aiming at the wrong target, where there's actually a way better ways and ways that our body were designed to actually have the body that we're proud of or working towards or whatever that is. So we're not saying that there's a blanket statement that everybody has to do this, but if you are in the category of, I want to learn how my body loses weight, expends energy, all the different ways, metabolize them, that's what this context of this conversation is about.
That's what we're talking about.
Right?
That's what we're talking about. So I think before we get started, you have to talk about intake versus expenditure in terms of the food you eat, which is your intake, what you put in, and how you expend those calories that you've put in your body. So before we dig into NEAT, we'll talk about the 4 different categories and the 4 different ways that your body uses the energy that you put in. Okay. Number 1 is your BMR. So if you are a client here, you're an athlete here at CSNF, you have access to our InBody scan, and it will actually calculate your basal metabolic rate.
Which is your BMR.
What is that? Okay. So it's your heart rate, it's your breathing, it's your lungs pumping air. It's all the functions that are happening inside of your body passively without you doing them, right? That constitutes 60 to 75% of your daily caloric expenditure. So most of your burn, most of your calories out comes from just basic organ function.
Okay, guys, I'm going to be your translator to normal human language around what Jill's saying, because everything Jill's saying is absolutely gold, but I don't want to miss it, and I want to put it in layman's terms, okay? Yes. So number 1 on how we burn calories is just what your body needs to survive all that energy. So like you said, to keep your heart beating and your lungs breathing, your body's going to need X amount of calories to keep that alive, keep your body alive.
Correct.
You said 60 to 75% of how much your body burns when it comes to calories, so calories out, comes from your BMR. It is the biggest slice of pie. It's not exercise. It's not any of the other ones, which we're going to kind of get into.
Yeah.
That's massive. That's huge.
It's your organs.
That's huge.
They require a lot of energy.
All right, we'll come back to that. Keep going.
Okay, so number 2 is the thermic effect of food. And this is going to sound, really sciencey, and I'm going to let you put it in layman's terms after this. So the TEF is your second one. And these are the calories that your body uses to absorb and digest food. It's about 10% of your daily intake.
Okay, so I just ate a foot-long flatbread rotisserie chicken sandwich from Subway. And right now I can feel it, and it actually feels pretty good. I had a bunch of veggies and stuff on it. And right now my body is actually using energy, it's burning energy to digest that.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, I burn 3,000 calories a day for Alex. 10% of those are going to come from all the digestive processes
and
my body and
Yep.
absorption that it needs to process that food.
Correct.
So right now my body's burning energy digesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That is TEF, thermic effect of food.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Number 3.
Number 3 is NEAT.
That's pretty neat.
Number 3 is NEAT. So what NEAT is it's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Okay?
Wait, say that one more time.
Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's the number of calories your body burns through activities that aren't exercise. So we're talking about fidgeting, Alex.
Why did you say my name?
Walking up your stairs, blinking, everyday tasks, every day just walking to your car. Anything that you do that is not intentionally exercise is NEAT, non-exercise activity.
So wiping counters.
Sure.
Sweeping my floors.
Sure.
Push mowing my grass. Writing a letter.
Yeah.
Like you said, blinking your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Anytime your body is
your
doing
foot is tapping right now.
Oh my gosh,
That
it is.
neat. That's neat. Yeah.
If my wife is listening right now, she's like, oh my gosh, yes. I can't stop moving or tapping or fidgeting, which there's more to that. But anyways, this is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. How many calories your body is burning by doing a physical activity. Yep. Not exercise.
It's not exercise. It's just movement. Your body is moving, but you're not exercising.
Got it.
It's activity outside of exercise.
What slice of the pie, what size of the slice of pie
so
is this?
it ranges. For most people, it's about 15%, but it can go all the way up to 50 for really, really active people.
Whoa.
Yeah.
15 to 50.
Yes.
That's a big range.
Big range. So 15% would be on the sedentary end. You know, people who sit a lot throughout the day. 50% would be up there with like a professional athlete.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Number 4.
Eat. So it's neat without the end.
We have neat and eat?
Yeah. So it's eat. It's the intentional exercise. It's the exercise activity that you do. And that accounts for an estimated 50 to 30% of your total energy.
It sounded like you said 50. You mean 15.
15
to
30.
To 30. Got it. So 15 to 30 is a slice of the pie and how much total calories out through the day.
Yep.
What do you think most people assume exercise is?
50.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah.
Probably.
50 or more. Yeah.
But it's not. It's not even half.
It's not even half.
It might be a third if you're lucky and actually do like longer or bigger pieces. But I would say for the majority of the people listening, it's probably literally 15 to 20%, 1/5 of the pie, where most people think it's 4/5 of the pie.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Which comes from the saying that, you know, if you can come to the gym for 60 minutes a day, but you're sitting the other 8 hours or 7 hours of the day, you would be considered sedentary.
Yes, it does not weigh. Yeah. I'll say a quick statistic that literally boggles my mind every time I think about it. I read it 3 years ago that the Mayo Clinic said that if you do a 60-minute cardio or gym class workout in the morning, but then you sit for 8 hours that same day, those 8 hours of sitting cancel out that 60-minute cardio bout down to a 6-minute walk.
Yeah.
Meaning you did 60 minutes of running. I went and ran 5 miles, whatever. You sit all day at work. You sit at home. You sit in your car. You go home. Basically, all the positive effects of that workout were reduced down to a 6-minute walk or jog.
Yes.
Which
and that's why
crazy.
we're here. That's why we're here today to talk about how to combat that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Jill, talk to us about some of these things. Let's talk about NEAT because that's kind of what the content of this conversation is about.
Within the 4, you know, there's the 4 expenditures. We're going to focus on NEAT today, which is your non-exercise activity. Yeah.
Gotcha. So what are some of the things that you like to do in terms of getting some of those NEAT exercises or NEAT movements in your day?
Yeah, so I'm pretty intentional about it. I've been learning a lot about NEAT movement lately and doing a lot of research on it. And I have a few things that help me create good habits. And I'm all about habits. I'm all about habit stacking and making sure that anything that I set as a goal, that I have a way to get there. So for me, you asked what I did before this. I was doing some emails and I walked while I was on it. I have also done that on my treadmill if I wanted to watch something and I knew that I had been sitting a lot or sitting in my car a lot throughout the day, and I'll walk on my treadmill and watch something on TV. Other things is standing. Sitting is the absolute worst thing you can do. But like you've said, Alex, before, all of our rooms are primed to sit. Everything has a chair in it, a sofa, a couch. But standing is the absolute best thing you can do. And I have some pretty cool examples to give you later, but I will work and stand at a standing desk. Yeah.
Standing, moving, walking. I mean, when you look at the anatomical design of our body, it literally is designed for us to stand, for us to walk, for us to run and jog. That when you look at most chairs, when you actually look at an x-ray of the skeleton that's assuming that position, there's so many issues that come from that, which makes sense why, what is the number 1 or 2 issue in America's back pain? Because we're constantly sitting and we don't have the strength to maintain that position.
Right.
I mean, I just stood up, but I'm sitting in this chair while we're recording this, and within 30 minutes, my back already starts to ache sitting in this chair.
Yeah.
I can't imagine 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
But what if you have to? Maybe not have to, but what if you do a 9-to-5 job, you're in corporate America, you're a finance major, whatever, and you're sitting and studying at college, or you have to do this for work? Like, what are some options if you are confined to that?
Sure. I know some people that do sit on a stability ball and do their work.
Oh,
so
wow.
You're still moving and you're doing some core stability while you're typing and working.
You might get made fun of a little bit, but it's worth it.
But who cares?
I would do it with you.
And then the standing desk, many companies and businesses are allowing employees to have standing desks now, which would be great.
And I read a statistic that standing while working actually improves productivity. So you can tell that to your boss. There's statistics.
Tell your boss. Tell them right now. Other things, and one thing that I've done is using your smartwatch and your smart devices to your advantage. So I have a setting on mine to where it pings me if I haven't stood in an hour. And it says, time to stand up. And so guess what? I do.
Jill, speaking of the standing and sitting, talk to us about like the example or some of the statistics that you found as far as just how many more calories you burn standing versus sitting.
It's absolutely crazy. So listen to this. Let's take like a 145-pound person.
Okay.
So they burn approximately 102 calories an hour while performing a desk job in a seated position.
Wow.
So they're burning just by sitting, right? Remember, you're burning all throughout the day, your organs
all
and all this.
Okay.
But get this. You would burn 174 calories an hour if you did those same tasks while standing.
You do nothing different other than stand versus sit.
That's 40% more if you stand versus sitting.
Holy moly. That's crazy.
It's insane.
But I don't think people realize the weight or severity to that.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So let me give you one more little fun example. I love these. So let's take an 8-hour workday.
Okay.
Right? If you stood instead of sat for the 8 hours, you would burn 576 more calories per day.
Interesting.
If you stood 4 hours out of the 8, half of the time that you usually sit, you'd still burn 288 more calories.
Wow.
And that's just standing. You're not moving. You're not doing anything. You're just standing. But your skeletal system and your body is supporting you.
So we work with athletes and our people here, and you have nutrition clients, and talk to them about being in some sort of deficit, because the very, very big macro picture is calories in, calories out. We want to make sure that's in check, where if we want to put someone in a 300, 400 calorie deficit, they literally could stand all day. Granted, wear comfy shoes, get in a good position, make sure whatever, because that's a lot of standing. But you're burning 570 more calories what you're doing. You could just stand and be in a deficit.
You could just stand. Yeah, that's why one of our main goals here is, strength training and conditioning inside of class. And then also getting movement throughout your day. It's not just the 60 minutes of working out at intensity and doing strength training. It's also your movement throughout the day. That makes a big difference.
So, Jill, this is the perfect segue to talk about exercise. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we literally are running a business all about exercise, right?
Yeah.
So we are advocates for it. We base our lives around it. We make money from it.
Yeah.
We do it ourselves. Exercise is very, very important.
Very important.
But it is not the way to lose weight. Would you agree?
So this is what I would say. Exercise is a non-negotiable. Strength training is a non-negotiable.
You have to.
If you want to prevent disease and early death and all of these things in your life, exercise is a must. You have to do it. Diet and exercise together are the key to success, right? If you're wanting to lose weight, many times people have believed that extra cardio, I need to do more exercise, I need to do more of this, I need to do more of that. That might move the needle a little bit, but what's going to move it the most is getting on a nutrition plan that works for you and moving in your non-exercise activity more neat.
Hold on. I need to just pause and just recap what you just said, because that literally could be paradigm shifting for some people listening.
Sure.
So
you can't outwork a bad diet. I'll say that.
You cannot outwork a bad diet. So previously, well, okay, first off, you said diet and exercise, as far as eating clean and moving often, are non-negotiable.
Yes.
We need to have some sort of resistance training so that we are able to take on life's demands outside.
Yes.
Our motivation to exercise is not lose weight. Our motivation to exercise is to gain more levels of freedom, is so that we can have a better, longer lasting life.
And it will assist in weight loss.
100%.
Yes.
But it's not priority number one.
Correct.
So you're saying there's a better way when it comes to, okay, if you're in the boat of I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to shed X amount of weight, whatever, a better way is actually focusing on the nutrition and your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is neat.
Get neat.
Okay.
Yeah. Eat clean and get neat.
Coin it. Next CSNF shirt.
Yes.
There it is. Jill, BMR. That was number one we talked about. It's your basal metabolic rate. It's how many calories your body burns, just literally keeping your body alive.
Yes. Like if you were in a vegetative state, in order to survive, you would need X number of calories in your body for basic organ function.
That's what I tell people when I take them through the in-body. I'm like, hey, here's your BMR. Literally, if you just wake up and lay in bed and watch Netflix all day and don't move a muscle for 24 hours, this is how many calories your body would burn. Yeah. That's what I tell them.
Yeah.
This is the biggest slice of the pie. Now, granted, there are things that can influence those, but it's not like, oh, hey, you're going to exercise more, eat these, and your BMR is going to go up.
Right.
Where your BMR is your BMR, because some of them are controllable, some of them are not. For example, your height or just how big of an individual
like
you are.
Your bones.
Your bones, your height. For example, if you know Coach Jeff Gravett, he is 6'4", massive, big dude. He's much bigger than I am. I'm maybe 6 foot.
I'd actually be really interested to know what his BMR is.
His BMR is probably a little bit more than mine because he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Another thing that influences that is muscle mass.
Big time. That's where strength training comes in.
Yes, that's where it intersects with exercise, why it's so essential, because the more muscle you have, the higher your BMR goes up.
Yes, you can eat more. Yeah,
100%, because your body needs energy, or is providing your muscles energy to recover, to stay and retain water, stay that size. So your muscle mass is a big one. Jill, are there any other out the top of your head that influence your BMR?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really control the size of your organs, but muscles you can. I mean, more strength training, increase that protein, and gain some lean mass, and that's big for the BMR. Yeah.
Because there is one, I've heard it in just a lot of different variations, that people have said, oh, I just feel like my genetics are making me this way, or I'm born to be this big, or whatever. Genetics have a piece to the puzzle, but they're not everything. They're not the end-all be-all.
They're a piece. Yeah.
They're a piece of it, and maybe you were born with not as good or beneficial genetics as other people, higher, lower metabolism, whatever.
I mean, if you've ever seen or met my parents, I have some genes towards obesity.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But you didn't let that control you.
Correct.
And it was a decision. So your BMR is the biggest slice of the pie. Some of them are controllable, some of them are not. But the other ones, as far as like those knee activities, you can't really, for example, the thermal effect of food, how much calories your body burns just digesting food, you don't really control that. That's
that's how your digestion works.
Exactly.
Basically.
That's
how
pretty
your
much
intestines.
It is what it is. Yeah. But the biggest ones we can't control are the two active ones, like you said.
Neat and eat. So exercise and then non-exercise activity.
And eat. Jill, any other practical tips or tricks or things or encouragement or whatever when it comes to neat and eat?
Yeah, I have some tips. So number one, you'd want to find out and gather some data on how sedentary you are. So you could get a sheet of paper out and write out your day. How often are you sitting? Are you sitting from 7 to lunchtime when you get to work? Right? So just gather some data on how you are moving throughout the day. Looking at that, you can start to make a plan towards, okay, if I'm sitting in meetings from 7 to 10 and I have a break from 10 to lunch, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get up and walk a little bit, stretch out, maybe take my next phone call standing, whatever, to get your body moving out of the seated position. So gathering data is number one, figuring out where you are on the spectrum of sedentary lifestyle.
Jill, when someone's doing that, what would be like, not an alarming, but a number of sedentary hours that you're like, hey, we should probably like try to do something about that?
I like to use daily steps as a good measure. Most people have a smart device, smartwatch, Fitbit, Garmin, anything like that can track that. And I think most people's smartphones track it. And if you take a look at your daily steps, if they're anything under 4,000 to 3,000, you're not moving much.
Wow.
And those steps are not, necessarily, I went for a walk. It's just how often you're taking a step throughout your day. So that's one measure that you can do to see where you are in terms of your daily movement.
So for some people in here, they might have like mandatory meetings that they're in a corporate C-suite building that they literally have to sit from 7 to 12.
We have lots of those people here. Yep.
You can't control that.
Correct.
But you can control the other 18 hours of the day.
Yes, you can.
Right? So
yeah.
we're not saying, hey, we want you to be the weirdo where all 15 other people are sitting, but you're in the corner over here tapping your feet because you have to stand.
That is me. That is always me. I'm always standing.
But if it is completely not controllable, then that's fine.
Sure.
Like, health is attention to manage, but control you can control.
Yes.
Right? And many times, I had a non-health and fitness job before in my life that I had meetings an hour, 2.5, but I was rarely in 3+ hour meetings. That every hour or two, I at least got 5 or 10 minutes of movement, either around, up and down. I would take the steps rather than the elevator, stuff like that.
And you're a big proponent of the walking meeting.
Walking meeting, yes,
I swear we walked 5 miles one day. I was like, gosh, this is really extensive.
That was probably like 3+ miles. We just kept walking.
It was great. So yes,
Anything else? Sorry.
Number one,
data.
find out where you are.
Okay.
Find out how you're doing with movement throughout your day.
To get to the finish line, you need to know where the starting line is.
Yes. The other thing is get creative with moving. Like when you're on the phone, get up and walk around or stand, right?
Get creative.
While you're watching TV, get in the floor and stretch. That's still non-exercise movement. You're not standing, you're not walking, but you're moving. You're stretching, right?
I think one thing that I've heard or collected with people is that, quote, that's not enough. They may not say that, but, what is 5 or 10 minutes of movement while I'm watching a show going to do versus if I'm not going to go run for 60 minutes, I'm not going to do anything. Like it's that all or nothing mentality that I want to debunk so bad that no, all of these little 1% deposits throughout your day add up. The 10% or the 10 minutes moving, watching a show, or walking from the back of the parking lot to the front, or taking the stairs. All of those things add up.
Yep.
So, sorry, that's just, I'm off my soapbox now. Sorry.
And I'll toot the horn of a few people that I've been working with lately. And
Toot 'em.
I do prescribe daily steps for a lot of people. And it's been raining a lot here lately. And I had one of my clients just tell me recently, well, my husband went to Home Depot. It was raining all day Saturday, so I went and I walked the aisles.
That is amazing.
There's no excuse.
Absolutely
right?
amazing.
No excuse. And then I've had other people who work desk jobs, 3-piece suits, going outside and walking in between meetings, not going to happen. So he gets to the gym early and he gets the steps in before and after class, or he'll go to Kroger that has air conditioning and he'll walk the aisles at Kroger on his lunch break.
Absolutely phenomenal.
It's amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Where something behind that as well is the mindset is, okay, just because the hand that I was dealt in my work or whatever, I can't control. For example, I have to wear a 3-piece suit, but you can control where you go or coming to the gym, some of that stuff. Or I can't control the weather, but I can control going with my husband and walking the Home Depot aisles. It's basically, hey, I'm going to get it done and make it a priority. And that's that mindset we were talking about, because a lot of people, if I can't make it to the gym, or I can't run 60 minutes, or I can't do the all or nothing type behavior they want to, then they're not going to do it. Versus no. Whether I have 20 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes, I'm going to get it done.
Yes.
You know?
And these steps and this movement is not exercise.
No.
So you're not trying to get your heart rate up.
You're not sweating.
You're not trying to sweat. You might sweat.
Maybe
if
like
it's
me
August,
or
it
Dan
might.
Yackel, we're sweating like 24/7.
Oh, Dan. But yes, you're just moving. That's it. You're just moving. It's casual.
Movement is medicine, baby.
It totally is.
Come on.
It totally is. Okay. Another thing is to use your smart devices. I kind of touched on that already, but you can do step goals, stand notifications, movement goals. Like all of these technology pieces can work to our advantage.
That's good.
They don't always have to be negative.
They're tools. I mean,
yeah.
It's just like money or a brick or a hammer. I always say, like, with money, you can purchase things good or bad. With a brick, you can build a hospital or you could build a prison. Like, it's a tool that you can use, whether for good or bad, and you choose how you use them.
Yeah, I mean, and it can even tell you, hey, take a breath, your heart rate's up. And I'm always like, how does it know that?
I know.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
But yeah.
I just want to note really quick for people who can't see us, because I know you're listening. It's a podcast episode.
Well, you stood up, so then I stood up.
So we were sitting recording this episode. I felt so convicted we were talking about this. So I'm now standing, and now I got Jill to stand. So now we're both standing and pacing around the room while we're recording this.
We're pacing.
Because we're trying to practice what we preach.
Yeah. Yes.
Jill, any other tips or tricks or things on your list or anything you want to share?
Yeah, it's really the big thing here that we're trying to bring an awareness to is how sedentary or not are you? And if you are more sedentary than you maybe believe to be, just start incorporating some standing, some movement, some stretching. Go walk your dog, go in the backyard. Like, it doesn't matter. Just move more. That's it.
Move to improve, baby.
Yes.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Jill, this has been awesome. It's been science and evidence backed. It's been practical. It's been funny. There's been personal stories. I think this is a very, very helpful, fun, encouraging podcast. Jill, thank you so much. Thanks for leading the way. Thanks for leading and coaching. If you are interested in getting a little bit more serious about some of this stuff and want help and want coaching, want accountability, we do that. Jill does that.
That's what we do.
We're actually moving in that direction of offering that more. Sneak peek, stay tuned. We're getting there.
Big time.
So we are going to go big time. So this is awesome. Jill, really quick. I had a really fun ending question in my head, but I totally forgot it because I had it before we started, and this literally just made it go away. Do you have any fun last-minute questions?
What was your favorite childhood birthday party? Like, do you remember your favorite? I remember mine, and the reason I ask is because Alex's birthday is tomorrow. Are you 21?
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
22.
But what was your favorite birthday party location that you did?
Okay, so two like big ones I remember. One, I was maybe 8 or 9. The other one, I was 16. And if you don't know about me, I love scavenger hunts.
I didn't know that. I did.
And my mom literally made scavenger hunts, and at each place, like at every clue of the scavenger hunt would be another clue, but would be another present. So whether it was like a pair of socks or like a new video game or something, I remember it was at there's old pictures in a scrapbook somewhere about my 8th birthday, but we went up to my grandma's lake house, and there was a clue here, and I'd have to go find it, and then there was a present here and a clue here, and then finally, like at the end, there was like this big $100 bill or something when I was like 8 or 10. It was awesome. So, little fun fact, it was a scavenger hunt birthday party for me.
Do you consider it a scavenger hunt when I hide your Crocs and your shoes and other personal belongings around the gym?
No, because I have no clues. I just come missing items. I'm like, wait, I can't find them anywhere.
Did Jeff ever own
oh my gosh, yes.
your cupcake the other day?
Yes, really quick. Yeah. Long story short, shout out to the 5 a.m. people. They brought some cupcakes and put them, left a couple
they
here.
They were delicious.
Jeff left me one because he ate all the rest. I said, please save me one.
He does that, yeah.
And I was like, okay, great. I actually forgot it that day, so the next day I was like, okay, perfect. I have a cupcake waiting for me, like in between class or something. I come in and grab it. It's half eaten. There was like 2 massive bites out of it, and because I came in earlier,
out who did it?
It was you. You did it. I know you did it because Jeff was in here, and I'm like, you did not. He's like, it wasn't me. I was like, this is 100% Jill Thornton. I know 100%. But I just appreciate the self-control. You didn't eat the whole thing. You just ate a couple bites.
Well, wanted to taste it.
So, long story short, Alex likes scavenger hunts, and Jill will eat your food if you have it around.
But
so
I
beware.
won't eat all of it.
No,
I'll
just
make
a bite.
You have some.
Just a bite. Anyways,
gosh.
But hey, your body burned that cupcake
sure
while it was digesting.
Man, that was a good cupcake. I don't know where that was from, but it was great.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Guys, we won't waste any more of your time. Let us know if you have any questions about some of this stuff, and we really do want to help you change your life through fitness, nutrition, movement. It's neat. Guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on another episode of the FitCast.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining us today, friends. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and gained a greater understanding of the mission and vision of the CSNF community. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram under Coming Strength and Fitness, or hit us up on comingstrengthandfitness.com. See you next time.